Welcome to the Three Kings Boxing Podcast. It's your host 2K. Of course, I'm joined with my man C-Bone Henderson and my other man Willie the Kid. How you doing, fam?
I'm all right. How are you, fam?
I'm doing all right.
Doing great, man.
All right. Now, for this one, this isn't going to be our first podcast. I know this is the first video, but we're not counting it as a podcast because we don't have everything set up properly at this moment in time. But there is news that my man C-Bone wants to talk about. Also, my man Willie the Kid wants to talk about it as well. And, of course, we had the Deontay Wilder versus Bermane Stiverne fight tonight, and also the Shawn Porter versus Adrian Granados fight that we want to discuss. Now, of course, leading up to this Deontay Wilder Bermane Stiverne fight, we've had some things happen like Luis Ortiz failing a drug test. You've got Deontay Wilder talking about unification with AJ and Eddie Hearn really not having none of that shit. So after, in the aftermath of this particular result that we're going to talk about tonight, we need to actually discuss whether or not do we feel AJ and Eddie Hearn will want to jump headfirst into a fight after what happened tonight, man. I'm going to go to my man C-Bone Henderson first because I want to know his take, man. After watching what happened tonight between Deontay Wilder and Bermane Stiverne, do you think AJ is going to get in the ring with Deontay Wilder anytime soon?
No, I don't.
Subtle and simple.
I'm not. Plain and simple. And here's the thing: is I believe if they fought 10 times, AJ wins 6 of them because he's just better fundamentally.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he fears those 4. Do you see what I'm saying? Not him so much as Eddie Hearn. There's no question about it. This guy's got bone crushing power. He has absolutely no skill set, but he's got bone crushing power. And I've talked to Matchroom a few times about this, and I don't see this fight happening before January, February 2019, honestly. But that'll have a lot more to do with whether Tyson Fury makes a legitimate comeback or not, I believe.
Right. And I think that's some bullshit, man, to be honest with you, with that whole... it seems to me he's resurrecting Tyson Fury to kind of postpone the Deontay Wilder fight. I mean, I understand that it's a business. They're trying to make more money. Bringing in Tyson Fury, who was a big box office, even though he was hated by a lot of the British fans, they still went out there and watched him. I understand resurrecting him gives an opportunity to have or make money, generate a lot of revenue for Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. But come on, man, my dude is literally 450 fucking pounds. I mean, we're talking about resurrecting him now and getting him ready for an AJ fight by the end of next year. Actually, they're talking about summer of next year. So,
August, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Wilson, what you think about that, man?
Man, listen. Right now, like, from the reaction and everything tonight, even before this, like, there's only really one fight to see. I mean, Tyson Fury have been out the game for a while. I don't think we need to see that, like, in 18, maybe 19. But I don't know, man. It just seems I don't want to say they're ducking, but it's looking that way. Like, they're not bringing anything up. They're trying to do whatever they can. I mean, they're talking about Dillian Whyte. It's all kinds of stuff, man. And I really don't like it, man. I'm one of those people. I subscribe. I want to see the best versus the best. You got one champion here. You got one champion there. So, and they're both available. So what's the issue?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a situation where a lot of the fans don't understand the idea of fighters wanting to solidify their legacy, so to speak, right? You got Deontay Wilder, a guy that he understands that his resume is not the best in the heavyweight division. He also understands that he himself is not the best fundamentally or technically in terms of fighting in the division, right? And he understands that he's the number 2 guy in the division. So he's trying to he's trying to make up for that by saying, hey, I want an opportunity to unify with one of the most dangerous men in the division, and that is Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? And with him knocking out Bermane Stiverne in the first round, right? Who previously was the only fighter to go 12 rounds with Deontay Wilder 2 years ago, right? It seems to me with him putting an icing on that cake, it further solidifies his argument to be able to get a shot at unification with Anthony Joshua. I mean, what do you think about that, C-Bone?
I totally agree with you, 2K. I totally agree with you. I don't want to call it a flat duck, but I think it's a hell of a convenient excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Convenient fucking excuse is what it is, because the last, I've been around the sport for about 30 years, but the last 12 to 15 years, the business aspect has cost us quite a few fights.
Right.
And it's a shame to see that while the heavyweight division, the division that drives boxing, whether people like it or not, that's a division that wakes casuals up.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And it's a shame to see that we got a fight right now that might grab some attention. We got an American heavyweight champion that I don't think is very good. I'm not going to lie. I think Tommy Morrison would whoop his ass. All right? But, I mean, the thing is, much less Ray Mercer, or we go on and on,
Yeah.
But boxing is it's had a hell of a year, best year I can remember in a long time. And this is a chance to make 2018 the fucking candle on top of the cake. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you.
The icing on the cake, and then it can set off. We've got a shot to become a top 4 or 5 sport in America again right here.
Yep.
And it's become a niche sport. I done an article on Amanda Serrano the other day, and talking about how it's nowhere near the most popular sport in America, and female boxers are a subculture of that. But when I did some research on that article, I found out that boxing is the 11th most popular sport in America.
Right.
That's sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 2 in the UK.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Me
That
too.
makes sense. Yeah.
Me too.
And that's
it's
go ahead, Wilson. Or
go ahead,
bro.
No, I was just gonna say the thing is with that fight, that fight's probably gonna happen overseas.
Yeah.
So
No, it's definitely not happening here.
Right. You're not going to generate money necessarily per se from here. And AJ already generates money there. I mean, 78,000 people showed up his last fight to fight who? So
you know who Takam is. Come on, man.
A fill-in, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to show up for Wilder. That's what you're telling me. Like
he'll pack 90 into Wembley again for Wilder.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, if fans are buts about it, and the ticket prices will be higher than it was for Klitschko.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Like, you can't be pay-per-view here because it's going to be a 4 or 5 in the afternoon type of fight. So who's going to order that on a Saturday afternoon? So it is what
Not
it
I.
is. So exactly. I mean, so they should just stop the BS. Everybody's looking to. It seems like you said, 2017 has been great, and it's looking like everybody's trying to be the guy, and that's what we should want as fans and people that cover the sport. It's what's best for it anyway.
Yep, I agree.
Totally agree.
I agree. So does that mean, fellas, that the big bad motherfucking Dillian Whyte shouldn't get this fight next? Dillian Whyte.
He should get Breazeale or somebody like that. Let them duke it out.
That's what I said earlier.
And let these two big boys go at it.
That's what I said earlier, man. That's That's an excellent point. Me and another one of my partners were talking about this. Because of course Dominc Breazeale, after his knockout win of over Eric Molina tonight, that was actually for the WBC title eliminator.
Right.
So he kind of put himself in a position where he could be a secondary mandatory for Deontay Wilder, whereas Dillian Whyte now, probably when they redo the rankings in November, me and C-Bone were talking about this earlier, when they redo the rankings, Dillian Whyte will most likely move to the number 1 position since he's ranked number 3 as of today, and Dominc Breazeale will move up since he's ranked number 6 as of today. So, but you've got Dillian Whyte.
Can I say something though?
Go ahead.
How the hell does a 7 versus a number 11 get a fight for the mandatory shot at the belt?
I mean,
hey, I understood. I totally agree with Dillian Whyte's gripe there. He had a good gripe there. I agree with him.
Yeah, you know how it is. I mean, why is Bermane Stiverne the fucking mandatory in the first place? I mean, come on, man. We're talking about the WBC.
Well, because they had that earthquake hit in Mexico City, and Mauricio Sulaimon needed some money.
Right.
My officers got fucked up down there.
I don't know what's going on, man, but that was crazy. Like, you look at it, it's bad. It's a bad look for the WBC. I mean, Stiverne, what was this? His first fight in 2 years?
Second fight in 2 years.
Yeah, second fight. His last fight was 2016? Derek Rossi?
Yeah, I remember that one.
That I actually scored for Rossi, 96-94.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that, people? Say that again, C-Bone?
I actually scored that fight for Rossi, 96-94.
So it was already there was already a foregone conclusion about Bermane Stiverne headed into this fight, pretty much. He was gonna lose. So,
absolutely.
Right.
Go ahead, Willie.
It's funny how they rank. I don't know how that works anymore, so I've stopped trying to figure it out. So screw that. We could clearly see there's a 1 AJ, 2 Wilder. I don't care what rankings, what sanction of that body. That's clearly the pecking order. So let's do this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's nothing standing in the way of that fight right now either, at all.
Yep.
I don't give a damn what the WBA could have ordered last week. Once Ortiz. Fees. Well, I don't know if y'all recall
that fight because of the fees. That fees would be so high for that fight.
Yeah. Well, I did an article where I talked to Eddie Hearn, I think it was last week, maybe in the first part of this week, and talking about he tried to throw the Povetkin shit up there, WBA ordering him a mandatory.
Yeah, I remember.
And I told him, I felt like telling him, Eddie, do you not think we know how to read the fucking rules too? You know what I mean? Once Ortiz got suspended, bro, you got him 18 more months by law on that mandatory.
Right. Yep.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
It's the simple reason that Wilder went without a mandatory until today, since January 2015.
Yep. Well, in a nutshell, after Deontay Wilder's performance tonight, we all understand that Bermane Stiverne was a 39-year-old, overweight, fat, bloated motherfucker on a 2-year layoff, right? We understand that. But the thing is, going into this fight, there was a lot of people saying that Deontay Wilder is not exciting enough, right? There was a guy that I slaughtered earlier today that...
What about...
we won't say his name. I'll give him a little bit of a dignity. You know what I'm saying? We won't...
absolutely. We ain't no sense calling him out. I know he's from Nigeria though.
we won't say his name, but this particular man seemed to think that Deontay Wilder can't walk the streets of America, he can walk the streets of America and people will not know who the fuck he is. I will say after tonight, he will at least be able to walk a few fucking streets in America. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he made Sports Center.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If he could only walk one street, he just upped this shit to about 50 streets after tonight.
Well, I've covered him in Tuscaloosa several times. He's a big deal there, man.
Yeah, he is.
I know you hear a bunch of shit about him filling up high school gymnasiums barely there, but it's the biggest thing they got, you know what I mean, in Birmingham. And he's a big deal there. But people don't understand, people outside the UK, and they talk about, well, he can't fill fucking 18,000 seats in Birmingham. Well, here's the thing, man. The 2 times he's fought there has been during Alabama football season, okay?
Yep.
There's a pecking order in the southeastern part of the United States, and Alabama's at the top of that motherfucker.
Yeah, to have a fight there, you will have to do that in the summer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And plus, it's not a great venue, not for the only American heavyweight champion, man. The more I think about that, it fucking gives me chill bumps because I'm thinking, man, I just watched this guy that did nothing fucking right for 2 minutes and 52 seconds and won the fucking fight.
Yep. I mean, just think about the backlash he would have gotten if Bermane Stiverne would have lasted 6, 7 rounds, 8 rounds, 10 rounds. Shit, hell, went to the scorecards, right? So he can't win for losing. I mean, it is not. It doesn't matter what happens here. There's still going to be a general casual fan consensus about Deontay Wilder. Hey, I hate this motherfucker, so I'm not gonna like anything he does, no matter what. He knocked the dude out in the first round. He did exactly what he should have done to a guy that was of Bermane Stiverne's status and stature. Correct? So
Absolutely.
What the fuck else is he supposed to do? Knock the motherfucker out before they get in the ring?
He was supposed to make him tap out of the press conference when he threatened to put him in a body bag.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, really.
So, I mean, he's top notch in that division. He may not, again, like we said, he may not be fundamentally sound. He may not be technically sound. But there's no argument as to whether or not Deontay Wilder is top notch in the division. Okay? So if he's top notch in the division, then make the fucking fight between 2 top notch fighters. And to be honest with you,
Absolutely.
yeah. And to be honest with you, the other guy who's the fucking champion there, you know, what's his name? Joseph Smith. I don't even respect him enough to give him his fucking last name. Joseph Smith. That's his name. You know what I'm saying? He's not looking Yeah. He's not looking to fight either of these guys. Right?
Man, he got lucky to walk out there with his belt against Fury last time.
Man, come on. And shit, he got lucky to even get the belt against Ruiz. Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
I mean, I wouldn't call it a robbery, but it was a fight that I could easily see go 116, 112 for free.
It can go, yeah. I don't think it was a robbery either. I think I had Joseph Parker winning, actually.
But I did too, 115, 113.
Yeah, it could have been
I think
either
I
way.
had him winning by a round. Or
Yeah,
like that, so.
That's how I had it too, Willie. Same thing, by a round. So, I don't know, man. They just need to make this fucking fight. We don't need to see Dillian Whyte. We definitely don't need to see Dominc Breazeale. If, Deontay Wilder is still trying to get this AJ fight, which he is, in the post-fight press conference, he was killing AJ. If a nigga called me out that much, guys, that much, I'm fighting him. I'm sorry. I'm fighting the dude. You know what I'm saying? He had like a whole little segment where he called out AJ in the post-fight interview. I'm fighting this dude after that type of disrespect.
And the thing is, too, that if they was to fight, I think I would favor AJ right now.
I agree.
Absolutely, I would too.
I agree. You know?
And that's the whole thing. Like I just want to see it. That's all.
Yep. And we should get that fight. There's nothing stopping it. So.
Nope.
Yeah.
There is. His name's Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, true. Right.
I got an interview with him Monday, I believe, and I don't know, but he's not going to give me a straight answer. That motherfucker can't spell straight, much less speak it.
Hey, Chris, matter of fact, when you talk to him, ask him if he's responded to what Deontay Wilder said. He said he'll fight Dillian Whyte if AJ is a part of the package. Eddie Hearn ain't said shit yet. So I want to know what his response is to that.
I got a response from Matchroom earlier. I got a response from Lou DiBella himself, which is Wilder's promoter. Little buzz going around, the word on the curve here. And that fight ain't happened because of Lou DiBella. All right? And from a fan's perspective, that sucks because it does put us a step closer to the biggest fight the division can have.
Right.
But from Lou DiBella's perspective, I understand what the fuck he's doing. Okay, I mean he's looking like, okay, now I can make $2.3 million if he fights Stiverne, or I can make 1.1 if he fights White. I know Deontay's getting paid more, but I'm not because I'm the fucking secondary promoter now. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
What Hearn is trying to do to Deontay Wilder is the exact same shit Oscar tried to do to Mikey Garcia on the Cotto deal, and originally with the Linares deal. But I got some announcement on that in a little bit.
Interesting. Huh. Okay.
If you think about it, it's just in reverse.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He pockets at 70. Well, I don't know. I think in the UK he should get about 72 something percentage of the split. Matching would. Now think about that. I mean, that's a big lick, man. He's going to put White in there and probably put it on Sky Sports box office.
Right.
Right. And charge $16.95 pounds, whatever that shit comes to, $21, $22. But and get it. And probably do $400,000. So
makes sense to me.
yeah, but it ain't. One thing y'all gonna learn listening to this show, guys, is we're gonna call it straight down the motherfucking middle. We might talk about that guy tomorrow and that guy 2 days from now because he done the same shit the guy we were talking good about yesterday did.
Absolutely.
And I haven't been a Deontay Wilder fan. I like that man as a person. He's a good guy, man, when you get to know him and talk to him. He's a great guy. I like the story behind his, what's behind him, his story with his daughter and all that. I'm good friends with his manager, JD's. But I'm a skill set fan. That's what I am, And I don't give a shit if you're white, black, pink, purple, Cuban, Mexican. I don't care. If you can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
All right. And he can't do it. He's barely a top 10 contender in most decades. He's not a top 10 contender.
Yeah.
But right now, he's the man behind Joshua. And there is absolutely no reason in the world that fight should not happen within 6 to 8 months. None.
Agreed.
Other than Eddie Hearn.
What do you think about this whole marination concept?
You stop. Just stop. Listen. Now, I've got, been around the sport for a while. Pacquiao Mayweather shit, and that's the first thing people fans bring up. Well, that fight took 5-6 years to make. Well, here's the thing. I know a little bit of dirt on both sides with that thing, but, I wouldn't just say it, And as far as dealing with Tramper, Bruce Tramper was the matchmaker for Top Rank.
Yeah.
And he's flat told me, man, that Pacquiao wanted to fight, but Aaron didn't. You know what I mean? And I get along with them guys at Top Rank Rank. Everybody but fucking Bob Aaron.
Yep.
And I don't get along with Stiverne. I'm going to touch on that real quick. Y'all see where I released the purses last night?
Yeah.
$506,250. I ain't seen that type of purse since Moby Dick was a minnow. All right? Now,
shit.
Don King's still stealing fucking money. Still stealing money.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
I mean, where did that come from? He told him, I'm going to charge you this for your medicals and stuff, Got wrong America. You know what I mean? But,
man, these fighters let him do it. He's going to do it. I mean, it is what it is. He's been doing it for years. So.
Oh, man. That man committed more robbery than Jesse and Frank James ever dreamed of.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
You
want to get somebody hot, talk to Michael Gerard Tyson about him.
Man, Jook should
He'll go from, that little growl, he'd get to a fucking flat growl after about 28 seconds, though.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
That should be Don King's middle name, Jook. That's all he does on these cats, man. Catch jokes. For real. All right, y'all. Let's move on to the more, I would say the more exciting fight, but it's less important, especially with the news that Kenny Porter is talking about sitting Shawn Porter out for all of 2018 in order to get a Thurman fight. He's not looking to fight Errol Spence. He's not looking to put Shawn in there with Terrence Crawford possibly. He just wants Keith Thurman. If he can't get that, Shawn Porter sits out for the rest of 2018. But this is the thing, though. and this is from my man Willie the Kid. I didn't know this. Shawn Porter broke his hand in this fight, possibly, right? So that could be something that allows them to say, hey, we got to sit out. But see, what I want people to understand is Kenny Porter said this before the fight happened, that he's looking to sit Shawn Porter out. So, it was, I mean, from what I hear, it was an excellent fight between Shawn Porter and Adrian Granados. Of course, there's a lot of bullshit politics that are going to be surrounding Shawn Porter after this win. My man Willie the Kid, man, I'm going to go to you, man. What did you see in this fight? What actually happened in this fight? Give us a small breakdown, man, and what you take away from it.
It was like at the beginning of the fight, it was like Shawn came in, did what he had to do. He was like a regular Porter fight, sloppy, ugly. They were catching each other. Porter was like more consistent with his attack. Obviously, that's what he does. He just keeps coming. And but somewhere around the 8th, 9th round, he landed a punch and he just grimaced. And he basically took the last 2 rounds off, if you ask me. And the scorecards were like 117, 111.
Damn. For Porter?
Yeah. All 3 of them.
Damn. Across the board, they were.
I heard it was much closer than that.
The judges only agreed on gave Granados the last 2 rounds, basically. Like, they only agreed on that part of it. So, it was probably like a 116, 112 fight, but I felt Porter did enough already and won. Granados, man, he's got a hell of a chin. He got hit with some stuff today, and he took it. He gave some back, too. It was, they fought in spurts, man, and a lot of holding, grabbing, probably a few headbutts in there, elbows, whatever.
There's always going to be some headbutts with Shawn Porter.
So it was just a ugly fight, man.
Yeah.
But it was exciting to watch. And then I don't know what happened. Around the 11th round, he just backed down, and the kid kept on his bike. He was on Porter, and Porter was the one backing down. So it was kind of like the bully started to get bullied.
Right.
But it was because he had the broken hand, so he couldn't do much at that point.
So, judging by this fight you just seen with Adrian Granados, it's obvious that, like I said, Kenny Porter is looking at Keith Thurman only. That's all he wants. Do you think Shawn Porter has an opportunity to beat Keith Thurman in a rematch based on this performance tonight?
Well, yeah. No.
Which one?
No. I mean, I understand why he was sitting him out for the rest of the year because he didn't look too good to me tonight.
Right.
And I wasn't really impressed with him. And I can understand why even risk anything. So my guess is they're going to use this injury to further that point.
I think so.
And give us some kind of a valid reason to. And why would he even take a chance fighting who? Errol Spence?
Nah, he get folded
That's
up.
Cute. That's cute.
Yeah, ain't it?
So
I don't ever want to hear nobody tell me about how Duck and Fear Golovkin was or them guys. Bro, they avoid Errol Spence like the fucking plague.
Yeah, he is, man.
Man.
He is.
I never seen a champion get ducked.
Yeah.
Mandatory is moving up divisions and shit. Hey, man, you think I can make 154?
I'm telling you, bro. They trying to get as far away as damn, man. I'm trying to fight at cruiserweight, man. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get as far away from him as possible. It's ridiculous. Yeah. C-Bone, man, what do you think about this, man? And how do you feel about Shawn Porter and his career going forward?
Porter, I think we've already seen the best of Shawn Porter in his career. That's not to say he may never win another title, but I just don't think he's in the right division for him to win another title, honestly.
Right.
There's too much talent in and around that division. And there's two that's like on the next level above the other two, and that's Crawford and Spence. Anybody that's watched the sport long enough and knows anything about it can look at them and tell they're just. Earl doesn't have the reflexes, and stuff like Bud does, but what he does have is he's got perfect positioning at all times. And I will vote. I get a vote this year, and I will vote Derek James as trainer of the year without a doubt, man. And the job he's done, because he's built him from a kid, you know.
I agree. Yep.
And now that's not to say that Bud couldn't beat him, but I think I'd like to see him get settled in that division a couple of times first, and because Spencer's a fucking he's a nightmare, man.
Yeah.
He's a nightmare. That's
a shark.
And see, people think, well, and I've heard people tell me he's a slugger, man. He just wants to get in there and be on your body. I'm like, I want you to, if they understood what they were watching, the first 2 or 3 rounds, this somebody can control distance. He can get his distance as good as anybody I've ever seen.
That's off the ring well, too.
Yeah. But what he does is he's got a feint step that he'll use. You know what I mean? He's pulling the opponent, and to where he wants him so he can land to the body. And it don't take him but about 4.5 minutes to land that body before that fight's technically all downhill for his opponent.
Right.
He's a hell of a fighter, man. Hell of a fighter. I remember when he was on the Olympic team, and I wasn't that impressed with him then. I'm not gonna lie. He had good fundamentals, but he had a bad problem about holding his chin too high then.
Good point.
Had a bad problem about holding his chin too high at that time, and he's come a long way. He's come a long way. Derek's done a hell of a job with him. He's done a hell of a job with Jamil Charlo as well. But since he come over, he's put hunger back in him.
Right.
He's a totally. Now, as far as Porter, I think we've seen the best of Shawn Porter at the 147-pound division. He don't want to go to 154. I mean, shit, he might. He started as a middleweight.
I was gonna say he fought. Didn't he fight at 152 in the amateurs? 152 is welterweight in the amateurs.
As high as 165.
Yeah.
Okay. As high as 165 as an amateur, which is middleweight in the amateur division.
Yeah, because he fought what's his name? The guy that Gennady Golovkin knocked out, one of his mandatories before Daniel Jacobs. What's his name again, guys?
Dominc Wade.
Dominc Wade. Thank you. Yep, he fought him in the amateurs.
I do have confirmation. Shawn Porter has likely suffered a hairline fracture in his left hand.
Okay. All right.
See?
That makes sense. And they probably
good catch.
They're probably gonna ride with that.
And I'm gonna tell you, I just don't see him doing too much more in this division. I see him being maybe by 2019, end of 2019, that he's out of the top 10 possibly.
Damn. Really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So you think that the matchups that people don't think are going to happen are going to happen. Obviously, he's got to take some L's to be out of the top 10.
I think he gets a second chance. I think he gets one more chance at the title. And with the guys holding the title, if he don't get to Thurman before Spence or Crawford does, he don't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning that fight. He done a lot better against Thurman than what I thought. Okay, I thought he would. Okay. But man, if Porter wins a fight 12 rounds to none, I score 118-108, Shawn Porter. You got to automatically deduct 2 points for headbutts before the fight ever starts.
Right.
I'll score 118-108 Porter, and they'll go, well, they go deductions. Yeah, he fucked up somewhere. They missed him.
Right.
I watched bits and pieces of this fight tonight. Now, Granados kind of surprised me. He seemed to be getting off a lot better than what Porter was, the little bit I've seen. But he wasn't able to sustain it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what it was? He was just too small.
Oh, exactly.
He was like,
140
good point,
if he was
Willie.
a regular welterweight, those shots probably would have had a little more effect because he landed some clean shots. I told you, he landed some good uppercuts, straights, and he took some shots. And he took a lot of shots. And he has the chin, man, and heart. I give him kudos to him because, he showed a lot of heart.
Well, let me ask.
There's no doubt he's a warrior.
Let me ask you this, Willie. Adrian Granados is now 18-6. That kind of record in boxing is like, damn, that's a journeyman like a motherfucker. Is that what he is now?
Nah, he could go back down to 140, and if he could find somebody to fight him there, he could compete. I don't think he could be. I don't know if he could be a champ, but these days you never know, man. They got so many belts. So
yeah.
So I think he could compete. I don't know if he'll win, but he could compete.
Well, I got a trinket. I got a little something in my back pocket. You know what I'm saying? Your boy.
You gonna let us play with it too?
Say that again, Chris.
You gonna let us play with that trinket too?
I'm about to dangle it. I'm about to dangle it in front of you guys' face right now.
Go ahead.
Y'all do know Amiri Mom is a WBC mandatory at 140, right?
Right.
Terrence Crawford has relinquished those titles, or he's going to 147 anyway.
Yeah, he's vacated.
Right. Amiri Mom, he's fighting a guy by the name of Johnny Garcia next month. After that, he should be getting that particular title fight for that vacant title. If Amiri Mom should win, notice Amiri Mom is the guy that Adrian Granados beat to actually become as semi-popular, to where he is today. The reason why he got the fights that he's gotten at this point in his career, right? Because he beat Amiri Mom.
Right.
He goes back down to 140. Amiri Mom's champion. Do you think that fight could happen again, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I don't. It's not an expensive fight to make. It's a PBC on the FS1 card.
Yep.
That total payout's like $300,000 between both guys, maybe $500,000 tops. So yeah, I can definitely see that.
Okay. Good point. Yeah, I think if that were to happen, if he can do what Willie says, go back to 140. He's only 28 years old, so I don't think he's settled 100% into the 148-pound frame that he weighed in as. I think he rehydrated to 148 if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think that he's filled, he has to settle into that based on his age. I think he can still make 140. I think that's his best bet. I agree with you guys on that. He needs to go back down to 140. He does have a journeyman type record, but he's that much of a dangerous fighter to the point where that journeyman record can be deceptive, and he can beat some of those top guys down there and end up. And I do think he can become champion, especially if fucking Amiri Mom has that opportunity. Yeah, I think he could beat that guy again in a rematch, man. I don't think Amiri Mom has learned too much more since losing to Adrian Granados 2 years ago. So it is what it is. As for Shawn Porter, I agree 100% with C-Bone. Man, I like him. He's always going to be a threat given his bullying style to anybody. He's going to be a tough fight for anybody at 147. But at the end of the day, right. At the end of the day, when those scorecards are read, he's always going to come up short against the top guys in the division. I think one of the only top guys he could beat is possibly Danny Garcia, just because of the way Danny Garcia kind of stagnates himself and he waits on you.
That was me in Spain, yeah.
Yeah, I think he could beat him. I think I'm looking at Kell Brook right now. He has an asterisk next to his name just because he's had both orbital bones broken in subsequent fights. So I'm looking at how he comes back and how he's going to be in his comeback fights. If he's still the same old Kell Brook, he could still beat Shawn Porter. But if there's a difference, there's a change in this guy, well, then I think Shawn Porter will be able to beat him. But if we're talking about the Crawfords, the Spencers, the Thurmans, nah, bro. He loses again. So
yeah. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think Thurman beats him easier the second time.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
I don't know. Thurman's been on hiatus for what? Since forever. I've raised 3 litters of puppies since then. And
oh, man.
I mean, he's been on hiatus forever, and he's done fell in love with some woman that speaks Hindu and shit. So I don't know,
And you know what? A lot of that out of the ring stuff could be a distraction. You never know, right?
It absolutely is.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
We'll see, man. That's a good point, C-Bone. And I think he's gonna have 1 or 2 tune-ups. I can't remember, fellas. Just correct me if I'm wrong. He has 1 or 2 tune-ups he's talking about before he actually.
Vargas.
Just one.
Jesse Vargas is supposed to be next.
Right, Jesse Vargas. So that's a tune-up. So if he looks good against Jesse Vargas, right? Actually, that fight right there is going to tell a lot. What Keith Thurman do we have? Or do we have this newfound Keith Thurman that's not looking like the old Keith Thurman? Or we still got the same guy that's still smart in the ring? He can fight you on the inside, he can fight you from the outside. He does enough to be able to squeak out a win, even though he went through adversity in the fight. Are we going to see that Keith Thurman? I mean, that's what's important, right? So,
exactly. Don't be surprised if Vargas gives him a little more trouble than what we anticipate, though, originally, like early on.
Yeah, I can't stand Jesse Vargas, though. As a
fighter, I hate him too. But what'll happen is I believe I could see possibly Thurman going in there and trying to stop him early.
Yeah.
And end up getting himself caught a couple times, maybe.
Yeah. I can see
but if he'll maintain his distance in box, man, he's going to be hard to beat at 147. I don't give a fuck who you are.
True. Very true.
He's fast. He's got good speed. He does get himself out of position occasionally because he lunges at times.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate he's got a tail too. I don't know if y'all seen it where he when he's gonna load up, and that's gonna get him caught by the right guy.
I think that's what hurts him against Spence. I like that fight. I think it's 50-50. But what you just said, and then at points in fights, he has this kind of mental breakdown where, let me just give you an example. Against Danny Garcia, there was really one game plan he needed to execute, and that was to stay on the outside, use the ring. Because, like I said, Danny Garcia is stagnated. He waits for you to come to him. But for some reason, after maybe the 7th round in that fight, he stopped moving. And he started actually going towards Danny Garcia. See, that mental lapse. While I think Thurman is a very smart fighter, I just think that at heart, he's not a boxer. He's a boxer-puncher at heart, right? So he's
has been since I've known him about 14 years old.
Exactly. So he's always going to do what his heart tells him to do. He might want to execute the game plan of being a boxer like he did against I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy that he couldn't knock out, that Errol Spence knocked out.
Bundu?
Yes, Leonard Bundu. Started off as a boxer-puncher, got caught a few times, said, fuck it, let me box, right? Danny Garcia started off as a boxer, was winning the fight, but then said, fuck it, let me slug, or let me get a little bit closer, try to knock him out. You're not knocking Danny Garcia out. He has one of the best chins in boxing, all right? But for some reason, he brought the fight to Danny, and that's where Danny started getting his opportunities, and that's where he started winning some rounds towards the end of the fight. So if I see him do that against an Errol Spence, slice out, man. If he doesn't get knocked out, he's going to get hurt really bad to the body, you know? So, I don't know.
He don't like it there.
And he don't like it there, exactly, Willie. We already know about, based on that Louis Collazo fight. That motherfucker got hit. He was there, got hit in the stomach, said, hold up, oh, shit, hold on, time out.
It could happen as fun. I talked to Louis after that a couple different times, man. Up in he lives up there by Willie, by the kid here, and I talked to him a couple of times about that, and it stunned him that he called him like that.
Yeah.
Because all it takes is straight right. That fight's over. He's wide open for it too.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
He could have stopped him right there.
Yep.
And look at him. If you watch that replay, he is wide ass open for it, and it stunned Collazo as much as it did Thurman.
Right.
I don't think he expected to get that. And but you're right about the Garcia Thurman fight. I had that score. I think I had it scored 78 to 74 at the end of 8 rounds, and then all of a sudden I get down to the end of the fight. I'm looking at my core going, how the hell is it 116, 112?
Yeah, man.
You know, he snuck a couple rounds in here.
He sure did.
And I had gave Danny a round earlier on that I didn't really need to give him. You know, but it was so lopsided. I was like, I don't think it's really going to matter. You remember
it's funny.
That's round
score too.
Whenever he caught him with that knife, he caught him with a decent counter in like the second round. I think Danny did. He only landed like 8 punches the whole round, and Thurman landed like 12 or 13. But the more effective punch come from Garcia.
Yeah.
And because he had one of them momentary fucking lapses.
He took his foot off the pedal in that fight.
He sure
did.
Yeah. He sure did.
But he had it in the bag too, though. So.
But he does it the exact opposite of the way guys like De La Hoya and them did.
Yeah.
You remember the Trinidad fight? De La Hoya just run from him.
Trinidad.
Okay? To stop the fight. get toward the end of the fight, and he gave the fight away. Now I had De La Hoya win that fight, but still, that's neither here nor there. He allowed himself to be able to lose that fight. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Just like Lara allowed himself to lose against Canelo. Although he already he was down 1-0 going into the fight.
And I hate to admit that, but it's true. I had Lara winning that fight 117-111. But again,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had scored that fight probably about 10, 15 times, and I had scored it as high as what you just said. But I've also scored it 115, 113 for Canelo.
Yeah.
It's a fight that's got 4 or 5 flip flop rounds. You know.
Right.
I feel like Lara lost that fight more than Canelo won it.
Of course.
Exactly, gave it away.
Of course.
There's a thin line between boxing and running, so it is what it is.
Yep. All right, fellas, we almost out of time. I want to pass it over to my man C-Bone. He's got a little bit of news for us, man. What you got?
Bone got some buzz this week, and it's looks like we're gonna have an announcement the week of December 2nd with we're gonna get a unification fight at 135 pounds. Mikey Garcia and Jorge Linares.
Yes. Thank you.
I got confirmation from both sides. Salas, which is Linares' trainer. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Talked to him this afternoon, and he told me yes. There is no set date, and probably won't find that out till December. You know what I mean? And there's no set location, but I think it's leaning toward New York City, and I think that's why you're going to see the announcement the week of the Cotto Ali fight. They're going to be in New York. Golden Boy's going to be in New York. I wrote an article, was it yesterday or the day before, that Eric Gomez had offered 50-50 on that fight.
Okay.
All right. Now,
I don't agree with that, but okay.
55. Well, here's the thing: is Garcia has no promoter. You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
So Golden Boy's splitting the bill from the world up.
Okay.
Now, so I don't mind the 50-50 here. Now, I was kind of surprised because I didn't even know if they would approach him with the Linares fight after the deal with Cotto and stuff, But I talked to Gomez. Willie Kid could tell you. I think when I do that, say that I talked to Gomez and he told me that he had made an offer to Linares. That was like last weekend, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had made an offer to Linares, and people were like, yeah, all right, because I think I did an article on it. Oh, sure. Okay, he ain't going to offer him that fight. Well, here we are, Wednesday. Mikey sit at Golden Boy Promotions in L.A., and the offer was 50-50. I did think yesterday Oscar actually offered him a 50-50 deal. That kind of surprised me. I'm going to be honest. I figured Oscar would go 60-40, maybe as low as 55-45.
Right.
Because if it's in New York, he's looking at Oscar's looking at about $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 in expenses. They're only probably going to do one press tour, one press thing. So.
Huh. Man, shit, as far as I'm concerned, as long as Jorge Linares has been playing that UK circuit, they could have had the fucking fight over there. I consider Linares
the only reason this fight is happening is because the one right before it fell apart. So
of course, right.
With Flanagan. So
Flanagan fell apart, and so did Robert Easter for.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Yep.
Exactly. So now we're gonna get this. And this is the fight I wanted anyway.
Yeah, this is a great fight. Unification is on the line. Absolutely, man. This is an excellent fight. It's something that should have already happened. To be honest with you, Mikey Garcia Broner should have never happened. We should have had this. But it's in Mikey's favor that he was able to go up and beat the shit out of Adrian Broner. That's a big name on his record. So, fuck it, right?
Yeah. It's a name when you look. It's a name when guys like us look back in 10 years and go, fucking Broner wasn't really that good. You know what I mean? But
absolutely.
There's going to be people going, man, Broner, he's close to a Hall of Famer. It's the argument we get now, with guys, like when I put that ballot out there and they're telling me that Ricky Hatton needs to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm like, huh? Right. There's several guys on this ballot that needs to go in way before him.
Yeah, man. I saw that crap. I saw a lot of cats saying Ricky Hatton. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Over all these guys?
I'm not going to say he won't get in because he's probably one of the more popular fighters on the ballot. I did not vote for him. Our ballots had to be in October 31st. Right. I didn't vote for him. Actually, Eastwick picked one of my picks.
Right.
Yeah, and it came out to be the three I was probably going to take anyway. I took Donald Curry, Winky Wright, And I took Ivan Calderon.
Yeah, Ivan, man.
Yeah.
That hurt me what happened to Ivan. He was a beast. I follow him heavily, man. And then all of a sudden, that's what happens
By
in
the
boxing,
time, man.
Yeah, you're right.
One more bit I'm gonna spill here. I'm not gonna do an article. I'm not gonna release it, but I'm gonna hit you. Be on the lookout for Robert Easter Jr. versus Tank Davis. Be on the lookout for that, possibly to come to fruition within 6 to 8 months.
Oh my God, I hope that happens.
Oh, man.
I hope
It's been discussed.
I hope that shit happens because I can't stand Tank. I hope that happens, man.
I don't think Floyd likes him either. You want to know the truth about it?
Probably not.
I haven't talked. Last time I talked to Floyd was at the Gal and Jack fight, and that's when I tweeted that I believe fucking McGregor Mayweather is going to fight this year, back in January.
Right.
But I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do believe we're going to see McGregor and Mayweather this year, and I'd be damned if it didn't happen. And I talked to Ellaby about 3 days before the announcement. And I told Wilson and them, I said, it looks like August 26th when it's going to be, man.
Damn, man. Damn, man. Yeah. Well, I hope this Easter Tank fight happens. Adrian Broner alluded to that not too long ago, trying to make that fight happen. So hopefully it goes down. Hopefully Tank goes up, gets his ass beat. I can't stand Tank Davis, man, with a passion. Robert Easter was one of my favorite prospects before he became a champion, so we'll see what happens, man. Willie the Kid, man, you got anything you want to add, fam?
No, man. Everybody just we been having a really good year in boxing, and it's not over yet. We're gonna come at you guys with a lot more stuff. Tune in, stay tuned, because we're coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, check us out, man, everywhere.
Absolutely. Instagram, we got Twitter, we got Facebook. Of course, this video is going to be on YouTube. We got Spreaker.com, where our actual podcast is going to be hosted. We got threekingsboxing.com. We're going to be all over the place, not too much longer time, you know what I'm saying? So, and actually, you won't even have a choice. We'll just put the shit in your face. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they gonna love it when they hit the website and it tells you right off. I mean, I tell you what you want to hear, but I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear.
Exactly. This is gonna be your number one source for unbiased, unfiltered, and very educational podcast, man. You can't get this shit anywhere else. Can't get it anywhere
I'm so pumped for that Rigo Lomo way down. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, man. See, I semi broke that down already, so I'm already halfway in.
I might fall out sick that day.
Yeah.
Man, I'm beside myself. And everybody in the world knows these are my 2 favorite guys in the world, man.
Yeah, man.
I've been following them since they were both like teenagers. Yeah.
We're definitely gonna come with the podcast on Spreaker pretty soon for y'all.
Absolutely.
That's probably when we're gonna do the Lomachenko Rigo. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna put my partners on the spot. We're probably gonna kick the podcast off with that. So make sure y'all tune in, and we're gonna do it big, man.
Absolutely.
Bless.
Yeah, be on the lookout for these videos as well. Just little breakdowns and our thoughts. Not necessarily in podcast format. That's gonna be a little bit of a different format. But post-fight reviews and just little breakdowns. And of course, you got C-Bone's Buzz, where he's gonna have some breaking news. We'll have those posted on our YouTube channel pretty frequently. All right. So, for my man C-Bone, my man Willie the Kid, it's your boy 2K, Three Kings Boxing, and we signing off.
Yeah, man.